Hello there! Welcome back to another episode of We Are the Senate, a Clone Wars breakdown where we'll watch and discuss a new Clone Wars episode every week.
This week we'll be watching Clone Wars Season 3, Episode 8, Evil Plans. And we hope you enjoy the show as much as we do.
Thanks for tuning in, and this is where the fun begins! For those of you who haven't seen this Clone Wars episode in a while, we have a synopsis for you.
In the middle of a routine shopping trip on Coruscant, C-3PO and R2-D2 are abducted by Cad Bane.
Yes, so we see the return of Cad Bane in this episode, which makes me very excited. I mean, my favorite bounty hunter right there. But C-3PO and R2-D2, they're sent to get some Yogan fruit for a Yogan fruit cake for Padme. So all very nice, all very good. But C-3PO is abducted because Cad Bane thinks C-3PO knows the plans to the Senate building, which if Cad Bane really knew anything about C-3PO, he'd know that C-3PO doesn't know anything regarding Senate buildings. Regardless, Cad Bane captures him, and he's searching for that information.
I don't want this gibberish. I want the plans for a Senate building.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're Senator Umada's personal droid.
I am a protocol droid. Human cyborg relations. I can
Did Cad Bane just forget to research this?
In your case, sir, if you don't mind me saying, is sorely lacking.
I mean, they want me to feel bad, but honestly, I don't.
Talking about.
Yeah.
According to the analyzer, he is not lying.
Oh yeah, he
His
is.
head's totally empty of any
It's really
information
interesting.
useful
Cad Bane,
to us.
Cad Bane does a wide variety of jobs. That's for
Many
sure.
forms of communication. I have extensive programming in the correct methods.
Ain't that great? A brainless droid. Worthless.
My lack
Wow,
of knowledge
that's
is not
kind
an
of,
impediment at all. Floor
that's kind
plans,
of
blueprints
rude.
are not in my
Then
programming.
again, I don't expect
Look
much
at
else.
that.
That's terrifying. That is terrifying.
The astromech. Go
Yeah,
fetch
that's
me
what we
his
should
little
be doing,
bag.
Cad.
This is an interesting premise for an episode because you have missions where Cad Bane, I mean, it's brutal. I mean, you have the hostage crisis episode in season 1,
The box.
the box, which is that in season 5?
Season 4.
Season 4. And so Cad Bane is pretty brutal most of the time. But it's ironic because Jabba the Hutt hired him for this.
Mm-hmm.
But Cad Bane is really just playing like he's just catching the droids, getting the information, and leaving. I feel like you don't need Cad Bane for that, but
It feels like a more low-level bounty hunter job.
but then again, I mean, it's Jabba the Hutt.
He really needs those Senate's plans, though.
Those Senate plans. Comment down below if this episode is supposed to take place before the hostage crisis episode in season 1, because as far as I know, Cad Bane does not attempt to break into the Senate building ever
Twice.
again. It's
Yeah.
just that one time in season 1. We've already seen that Clone Wars is not always in chronological order, especially for the first arc in season 3 with Domino Squad, where members of Domino Squad were already dead by the time that episode came out. But still, I mean, you can piece together the information. It is ironic, though, that Cad Bane just forgot or didn't feel like R2 was actually necessary. When R2 was literally the epitome of knowing too much information.
Threepio gets its mind wiped
all the time.
So
Meanwhile,
that makes no
Anakin
sense.
R2 is Anakin's best friend. There's no sugarcoating that. They're besties. Why would he wipe his best friend's memory?
Yeah.
It might have helped in
That
this situation, but
Like R2's smart, though.
yeah.
Like, he knows.
He's still an astromech. He's still an astromech. Unfortunately, R2-D2 is being cornered by Cad Bane's forces. And Toto, which I thought Toto was dead. All the more reason that this is actually taking place before season 1, because if you remember, Toto blew up. Cad Bane lost all his friends. Aww. Fake out.
What's Toto gonna do against R2? That's why he isn't,
That's a wrong droid.
that's why they have that guy. An IG unit. They try and get me to care, and I do care about R2, but it's another one of those situations where you know that they're going to be fine, even if they are captured by Cad Bane, which, hint, hint, he is. You know that nothing bad's going to happen to R2. Why? Yeah. Because he's R2-D2 and clearly survives for the rest of the films and for the rest of Clone Wars. But still, I mean, compared to some other characters, R2 doesn't get abducted that much. So I guess it's still a different premise for the episode, but Clone Wars does have some inconsistencies where you have amazing episodes and arcs like Mortis, Umbara, pretty much anything with Mandalore. And then you have episodes like this where they may not be as structurally sound. I mean, it's only working with one episode instead of 3, like in another story arc. And so it can be a little inconsistent. And I know we rave about all of the slightly mature themes in Clone Wars that wouldn't really fit with a kid's show, but somehow they are in a kid's show. But you have to remember that the target audience is children, pretty much. And so they'd still have episodes like this. Which aren't bad, they're just different. But unfortunately, our dear old R2 unit is captured. Because, I mean, I guess the one benefit for hiring Cad Bane is that he won't fail. Yeah.
So I guess you're guaranteed to capture 2 droids, which they assumed were weak and helpless. And they kind of are. I know, that is kind of sad, actually.
Connections complete.
Okay, that guy's scary. I want to see him in a horror Star Wars game.
Your friend
That would be funny.
turned out to be a huge waste of my time. Something my clients don't have a lot of.
Then again, the redeeming quality of this episode is Cad Bane. I missed him.
I can't bear to watch.
Wow. C-3PO isn't going to be there for his best friend.
Yeah. That's mean.
Okay, look how much stuff is going through. Did Cad Bane smile?
Download that data onto the memory drive. I will deliver it immediately. And prepare my ship.
What should we do with these 2?
Lock their
Destroy
memory
them.
and dump them back in the street. They'll find their way back home. We can't have anything looking out of place, can we?
At least Cad Bane didn't kill them. He's so
He's just gonna
merciful.
throw him out on the street.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is if this is coming before the hostage crisis in the Senate building, he can't destroy the droids because then they would know something's up. It is ironic though that, I mean, Anakin's the one who sent them out for the Yogan fruit, but wouldn't Anakin realize that there's no way that these 2 droids would be able to defend themselves? I mean, R2 does a pretty good job, but R2 looks after himself, not really C-3PO.
Yeah.
So
R2 is kind of selfish.
yeah, but he's a good droid. He's a good little astromech. It is a shame that R2 didn't fight back, but then again, what could he have done against Cad Bane or Toto or the IG unit? Toto, his ultimate nemesis.
Yeah, he could have had a good fight with Toto.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Comment down below who would win.
The service, what is he? The butler droid?
Maybe.
But they return with their memories wiped. They don't remember what happened, obviously. Then again, this is a usual occurrence for C-3PO, so he's used to it.
He's
by now.
okay.
He's okay. Probably the only time R2 has ever had his memory wiped. But he has to, I mean, you gotta experience it. You have to experience it once.
Yeah.
But they return with the Yoga.
You're gonna have to do better than that, Threepio. Because if Padme's dinner is a disaster, then you're not the only one she's gonna be mad at.
Oh, I wonder why she'd be mad at
The
you.
cake is right here.
Oh my gosh.
You should really lighten up on
It's
this too.
always
exploring.
Threepio, you've done a magnificent job.
Really?
Mine.
He got
A
captured.
magnificent job.
Yeah.
A
And R2
magnificent
sacrificed
job.
himself for
A
3PO.
magnificent job. A
Oh
magnificent
my
job.
gosh. Oh my
A
gosh.
We're
magnificent
gonna hear about this one for a while, Mike.
Oh, you will, Andrew. You will.
A magnificent job. A magnificent job. A magnificent.
I got a question. What is all these senators are at this party and they just see Anakin and they're like, they don't
Wonder
question
why
it.
he's
They
here.
don't question it at all.
Yeah, it totally has nothing to do with the fact that he loves Padme and is married to Padme, but, you know. I mean, at least in the prequels, you can kind of assume that, like, no one knew about the relationship. Like, it makes sense that they probably hid it and it was fine. But in Clone Wars, it becomes so evident that everyone knew,
Yeah.
or everyone suspected it. And the fact that Anakin tells C-3PO, like, you're not the only one she's gonna be mad at. Well, why would Padme be mad at a Jedi Knight for fruitcake unless?
Yeah.
So it's a strange little dynamic in Clone Wars. But I think it adds a level of humor to it all. And I think they do that intentionally, especially in, like, season 7. But it's still ironic. Yeah, they have that married couple energy in Clone Wars. But this is, I'm gonna call this an interesting episode. Maybe not my favorite episode, but it still is fun and humorous, and it probably sets up Hostage Crisis, because when Cad Bane goes back to Tatooine, to Jabba, Jabba hires him to break Zero out of prison, which is exactly what happens in Hostage Crisis. So the timeline is all messed up, but this is still a fun episode, and I'm excited to see where we go next.
Thanks for watching! Please leave a comment, turn on notifications, and hit the subscribe button to support the Threepios. Also, thanks to our sponsor, Dave Filoni. We couldn't have done this without you. Stay tuned for new episodes Wednesdays, and may the Force be with you!